Hello. Hi there. You've seen me talking a lot about my love of backpacks on this channel. Every trip I've ever packed for, I've used a backpack. And anytime I've needed to carry things around in my own neighborhood, I've also used a backpack. I am basically of the mindset that backpacks are the end-all be-all of bags. It never got better than a backpack. But after using a backpack in just about every scenario possible, I've come to realize that there actually is a time and a place for a backpack, and times and places where other types of bags may be more ideal. I have owned some duffel bags before, and I was always kind of meh on them. These duffel bags had no organization and they just felt like a black hole of stuff. The one top zipper made it difficult to get into them, and then if I wanted to get something out of the bottom, best believe everything was coming out of the bag, and then I would have to deal with the unpacked carnage at some point. Anyway, today we are taking a close look at this travel duffel bag from the brand Cluci. In this video, I'm going to be showing you all of the ins and outs of this bag, tell you what I think of each of the features, and then we'll pack it up for a weekend trip. If that sounds good to you, go ahead and click the subscribe button so you don't miss out on any of my future upcoming travel bag love fests. Now let's get into it. The first thing I thought of when I saw this bag was that it reminded me of another certain travel duffel that I have not purchased because it's pretty expensive. I did do a quick search just to get a sense of what is available in the duffel bag market right now, and I found that this particular style of clamshell duffel bag that opens flat like a suitcase is quite rare. It's incredibly common in the backpack world, so I thought it's just no big thing anymore. It's just common. It's really not in the duffel bag landscape. Like I said, this bag is from the brand Cluci and it is available on Amazon for less than $50. It comes in 3 colors at the moment: black, pink, and the khaki that I have here. Personally, I think this khaki color looks a lot nicer in person than it does in the photos. The color is more of a neutral beige, less yellow, and it's more saturated than it looks to be in the Amazon photos, so to me that's a good thing. The exterior fabric feels very nice. It has this velvety feel to the touch, but it doesn't feel like it'll grab onto dirt, and so that's good if you're going to be putting this bag on the floor of an airplane. The interior materials feel fine. They're not the most luxurious, but the fabric has this smooth, shiny feeling that I think will be easy to clean because dirt and particles and maybe fur will easily wipe right off. Right now the bag is empty and it still stands up on its own and holds its shape. I really appreciate when bags do that. It's very, very annoying when your bag is caving in when you're trying to get in there to retrieve something. And that is why I don't own any hobo bags. I went around on the bag and pulled on all of the seams and everything is sewn in securely. One thing I did notice is that one side of the shoulder straps has more supportive stitching than the other side. That design feature also gives that side of the bag more structure in order to be able to stand up on its own, but that side is not the side that the laptop compartment is on. I'm being nitpicky here, but regardless, I don't think the stitching will be a problem, and if it ever does loosen, I think it will be relatively easy to repair because the fabrics are pretty lightweight. So we like that for long-term usability and sustainability. Cluci states that this duffel bag has a volume of about 32 liters. That is bigger than any backpack that I have, and it's actually my largest non-suitcase travel bag. Whenever I see a duffel bag, I tend to assume that it will work as a personal item, but we'll come back to that later in this video once I have it all packed up. Looking over the exterior of the bag, for carrying options, we have these lightly padded carrying handle and this detachable shoulder strap. I like that the strap is detachable, so if you don't prefer to carry the bag that way, then the strap isn't just hanging around. For me, that's a good thing because I'm short, so I really don't need that extra length of that strap. Just these straps can go over my shoulder just fine, and I would probably prefer to just carry it this way on my shoulder with these straps. These handles feel like they have just enough width and padding that they won't cut into your shoulder when the bag is packed, but they aren't so stiff that they're like constantly slipping off your shoulder. There are also these two zippered water bottle pockets, one on each side. I like that they can be tucked away when not in use, but they are very small. I probably won't be using these pockets for water bottles, but I do have other things in mind that I think will work better. On the front side of the bag, there is this small zippered pocket. Turning the bag around, there is this convertible trolley sleeve. So you can slip the bag over the handles of your suitcase, or if you don't have a suitcase, you can zip the bottom closed and just use it as a little pocket to store small items. So that's about it for the outside. Before we get into the main compartment, I wanted to talk about the laptop compartment. This is a separate section of the bag with its own zipper, so your laptop will be separated and protected from anything else that you have in the bag. I also like separated laptop compartments because they make grabbing your laptop a lot easier, especially when you need to get your laptop out in a hurry. Inside this compartment, there is a padded laptop sleeve with a Velcro closure that is supposed to accommodate up to a 17-inch laptop. On the laptop sleeve, there is a large open slip pocket, maybe for a tablet or some documents. Then on top of the slip pockets, there are several smaller organizer mesh pockets where you can store small accessories such as pens, notebooks, that kind of thing. And of course, you can place things in the bottom of the compartment below the organizer. Might be a good place to store things like a book or a keyboard, something relatively flat. Now onto the main compartment, the best part in my opinion. I adore bags that open fully flat like a suitcase. Yes, they're easy to pack, but that's not the main reason why I like them so much. I like suitcase style bags because I can open them up at my destination and feel more like I'm at home, like I've unpacked without actually unpacking. All of my items are accessible, so I don't have to take everything out of the bag in order to get to this stuff at the bottom. Everything stays just contained in the bag and tidy, and when it's time to leave, I can almost just like slam it shut like a book and zip it up, knowing that most of the items are already where they need to be. So opening up the bag, on the front side of the bag, which is this side with the small exterior zipper pocket, there's a large open area with an elastic compression strap. This section is about 3 inches deep, so it's a good place to put packing cubes and other larger items. There's no organization in this section. The only thing that's in the section is the X-shaped compression straps. On the back side of the bag, the side with the trolley strap, there are two flat zipper pockets. One is a breathable see-through mesh and the other is a frosted plastic wet pocket. The plastic pocket is lined on both sides, so you can place wet items in there and the rest of the bag should be safe. Behind that panel is a fully enclosed compartment that can be zipped up, and so whatever is in there is completely shielded from view when you open the bag. And there's also no chance of anything falling out of that compartment. This compartment is about 2 inches deep on its own, but you can probably get about 3 inches of depth out of it depending on what, if anything, you place in the two flat pockets on the panel. Now that I've told you everything that this bag does have, I'm going to tell you what it does not have, which is one of those gimmicky exterior shoe compartments. I think those are kind of annoying, honestly, and I never end up using them. I find that putting shoes in there just makes them honestly take up more space because they're kind of floating around in the bag. And then you're just trying to maneuver around them and pack around them when you're packing the main section of the bag. For me, I find it's just easier to Tetris the shoes around inside with everything else. But that doesn't mean you want your dirty shoes touching all of your clean stuff. Obviously, which is why Cluci includes this nice matching shoe bag with your travel bag. Pack your shoes in the bag and then pack the bag wherever it fits best, so the whole of your packing doesn't need to revolve around your shoes. As another handy bonus, the travel bag also comes with this multi-purpose pouch. It has one clear plastic panel, so you can use this as a liquids bag when you're traveling within the US. In my experience, TSA, at least in recent times, has been fine with bags that have just one clear side. You could also use it for other toiletries or makeup or really any small items. I'm not sure what I'm going to use it for just yet, but I appreciate that it's here. So when you purchase the travel duffel, you also receive these two items in the set, and I just think that's a great deal. Now I'm gonna see what I can fit in the bag. This time I'm packing it up for a miscellaneous weekend trip. A weekend trip where I could be doing an assortment of general activities, but nothing too outrageous to pack for. So no weddings, interviews, or skiing. You get the idea. Just a casual trip with maybe an opportunity or two to dress up a little bit or do something a little bit mildly active. The goal today is not to pack light, but to get as much stuff as possible in the bag. I'm pushing the bag to its limits today. I'm starting with the clothes. I'm not using any packing cubes today because I think this zippered section is going to be the perfect size for just enough clothes for a 3 to 4 day long weekend trip. So if I'm only going away for a weekend, that means I'm not going very far, and at most I have a 45-minute flight to deal with, which means I will be wearing my jeans. For the bottoms that I'm packing, I'll have one pair of dressy but comfortable track pants, one skirt, one pair of black leggings, and one pair of bike shorts. For tops, I'll wear a long sleeve tee during travel, and I'll pack one black tee, one gray tee, one elevated top, and one blouse. One sleep set, which in this case is a crop top, a sweatshirt, and sweatpants. One dress and one sweater, my rain jacket, a swimsuit, one bralette, 5 underwears, and 5 socks. And one pair of boots that I forgot to show here. I don't have any specific packing method that I'm following here. I'm just doing a combination of folding and rolling and tucking, just trying to get all of the items to lay as flat as possible to avoid bulk building up in any specific areas. I know this looks chaotic, but I just accept that my clothes will be wrinkled when I arrive, no matter how neatly I try to pack them. I just do the shower steam trick when I arrive, and honestly, that just works well enough for me. As you can see, all of the clothes that I picked out easily fit in this zippered compartment, with the exception of my sweater and rain jacket, which I will pack later. And to be clear, all of my clothes are a size small. I'm placing my flat items in the 2 zippered pockets on the panel, my hat and hair towel in the mesh side, and my slippers in the wet side. I'm using the main section to stack all of my larger items, and I'm just doing whatever I need to do in order to keep everything as square as possible. I'm placing my boots plus 2 pairs of heels into the shoe bag and placing that in first, and then filling in the odd spaces with my travel towel set. Opening and unfolding your toiletry bag actually does save a lot more space than you would think, and it's one of those things I resisted doing for a long time. I don't know why. This toiletry kit is extremely overkill for a short weekend trip, but I'm rolling with it. This pouch that came with the bag is the perfect size for all of my underwear and my swimsuit, so that's what's in there. Next, I'm adding in my electronics pouch with all of my chargers and my travel makeup bag. So total in this section, I have one pair of boots in the shoe bag, my comprehensive toiletry bag that includes my liquids in the clear pouch, my travel makeup bag, my electronics pouch, packable towel set, and my rain jacket and my sweater. I like to save something large and flat, like a sweater, to tuck over the top in order to help keep all of my items in place as much as possible when there's only a compression strap instead of a fully zipped panel. It's not perfect, but it works pretty well. And that is all I can fit in the interior of the bag. As you can see, it is tight, but I'm not struggling that much to zip it closed, but it's definitely at max capacity. I don't usually travel with a laptop unless I absolutely need to, so I'm just stuffing my iPad into the laptop compartment. It's pretty tight at this point, but it's possible. I'm placing my umbrella into one of the side pockets and zipping that up as much as I can. I can also use a carabiner if I want to later to connect my umbrella to the D-ring for some extra security. Into the other side pocket, I'm just placing my AirPods and a pen for easy access. And that is it. That is the Cluci duffel bag pushed to its limits as a carry-on bag. It's possible that this bag could work as a personal item if you don't pack it so full, but as packed, this is definitely a carry-on, which means I would also be carrying a small handbag along with this as a personal item with my small essentials inside. So if you're wondering where my passport is. And so that is the Cluci duffel bag all packed up. In all honesty, I don't think I could travel like this. In all honesty, fully packed, this bag is just too heavy and too bulky for me to carry comfortably on the bus and through the airport. I would definitely have to take some things out in order to make it comfortable for me to carry. I know I have more clothes and other things in here than necessary for a weekend trip, so I could afford to lose some items. This is my first experience actually packing and carrying a duffel bag with the intention of it being a travel bag. And I think I can say now that I probably will be sticking to backpacks for most travel. I really like this bag itself, but for me, it just can't be a travel bag. Where I can see myself using this bag is as sort of like a long day survival / work bag. Recently, I've been spending some Sundays in the husband's office, and we'll be there all day while he's working on things, and I pack heavy for those days. I bring my laptop and iPad and journal so I can do work, and drinks and food for the day so we don't have to buy takeout, and 2 jackets because the office is freezing, plus all of my regular EDC stuff. And it's fine because all I have to do is carry this stuff from the car into the office, and it's really not that far. I think this bag is perfect for those days, especially because the laptop compartment is so comprehensive. I can be very organized and separate my electronics from our food, and my jackets can have their own compartment. It will be a big improvement from the Santa sack that I'm currently using. This bag would also make a great gym bag. I don't do that, but if you do, then more power to you. Overall, I think the separation of the different compartments and the clamshell opening are really what makes this bag special. As a daily bag, I think it works better when each compartment is not stuffed to the brim, so you still have some room in there to shuffle things around without having to fully open the bag flat. But at the same time, you can also pack the bag with the intention of heading somewhere and parking there for a week, stuffing it to the brim, basically having a whole organized wardrobe when you open up the bag when you arrive. This layout just makes a lot of different scenarios possible. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the thumbs up button and tell me in the comments, what is your favorite kind of travel bag? That is all for today. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye! Now that